Hi, it's the top of the hour, and now we're here again to do the live in the high with the cool way to calm, where we talk about stress management and how to stay calm in this stressed out world and in this stressed out workplaces that we all are in. And today I want to talk about something that I call to upgrade your capacity, because you need to do something else when you are just running in the hamster wheel. All the energy you have is for turning out fires, to run for all the things that you have to do here and now, and then you have to redo it because you did it too fast and it went wrong, and somebody else did something that you have to catch up. So all your energy is just going to help to run on those things that you have to do. So you have to upgrade your capacity some way so that you actually can do more than what you are doing in your everyday. Because if you are at your peak capacity, then you can't run faster, you can't do things faster. And if you try, you will do faults, and then you have to redo it, and then it's actually going much slower on the whole. And you don't want that, right? So if you want to do something to get out of the hamster wheel in a better way, you have to upgrade your capacity. So how do you upgrade your capacity? Well, you start taking care of yourself in a much better way, and you stop and take your time to do things in a much calmer way, in a much slower way, to think before you do, so that you do it right and don't have to do it again. But the most important part to raise your capacity, that is to take good care of your basic biology. We were on the side of that last time when I talked about what stress really is, where it's coming from, and we talked about 200,000 years ago, and we are still the same biology. And I told you what we need. We need regularity in everything, because, and that's what I'm going to go into a little bit more today. There are three basic things that we need to care for, and that is the sleep, it's the eat, and the exercise. Sleep, eat, and exercise. Those are things that everyone is doing every day, and you never think of it in that way that I actually learned in the last years. I turn them into what I call tools. Because if you see that these are tools for your well being, you kind of care a little bit more for them, because you take care of your tools. You think in another way if you use them as tools. Like I said in the first session of this, I talked about the breathing exercise. That's a tool. To breathe is a tool for a good life. And so I'm going to talk about raising your capacity with these three things. And first of all, I want to uh, talk about that we have to do things on a regular basis, because that's how we are built. Uh, our brains are full of little clocks. They are steering everything. All the biology in our life is steered by a little clock. And they are in different rhythms depending on what they are. Some are active in the daytime and some are active in the nighttime. And we need to have those on that same regular path, because if your clocks get out of order or out of rhythm, that's when you don't feel well. So you have to be careful with your clocks. And this finding actually got a Nobel Prize in medicine. 3 American researchers, they were called Hall, Rosbach, and Young, in 2017, because they have figured out that these clocks actually rules our life, and they really want to rule our life in a good way. So they are good clocks. And getting out of stress is a signal that our clocks are out of order. And the brain in our sleep is one of those clocks. It's called the circadian rhythm, and it tells us to go to bed in the evening and to get up in the morning. And preferably when you talk about what is normal, that is where most people are. And there are people that are outside the normal range, and it can still be healthy or normal, or what you would say for them. But nothing in biology is perfect or exact the same. So there are always variations. But when you talk about the normal, we talk about the mean needs for people. So we need to have regular sleep. And the scientists say around 7 to 8 hours per night, because that's needed for the brain to repair and to clean up all those waste products that are being produced since last night. And it needs to have let new blood in, all to make the brain resilient to the stress response. And we know that if you sleep too little, there are dangers with that, also biological dangers. Not only does it need clean in a good way, but you actually get drowsy. So if you don't sleep in the night, you are like, and you go driving the next day, you are like a drunk driver. So it really is important that you care for your sleep. And that also goes for weekends, because your brain has no idea if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It needs its rest every night, every night. And of course, you can go to a party sometimes, and that will be okay. But if you constantly don't have a regularity in your sleep, that's when your brain hurts. And you can also, to help your brain to relax during the night, you can leave your phone and tablet outside the bedroom, because your devices uses a blue light, and that's suppressing the sleep hormone melatonin, if you look into it. So every time you look at your phone in the night, or your tablet, you kind of prolong the process for you to go back to sleep again. And also we know that our brain has a subconscious knowledge of that the phone is there. Even if you don't look at it, it's kind of taking your what do you say? It's taking your power, because the brain knows that your phone is right by the bed, and instead you put it outside. So get it out of the bedroom, and you will get a much better sleep. And then, of course, the things that people usually say when you talk about sleep, it's dark. It should be a little bit cooler than ordinary room temperature for being really good, and also cleaned from all work things. You don't need to have all your workbooks and that kind of stuff, because subconsciously your mind knows that too. What you can have, because you're worried that you're going to wake up in the night and figure out, you just figured that thing that you have been waiting for so long, and you want to go up and you want to start working or get your phone or whatever. But you can have a small piece of paper and a pencil right by the bed, and when those great ideas pop, then you just maybe you turn the light on if you need to, or you just scribble down some words around your new what you figured out, and then you put it back on the sideboard, and then you go to sleep again. And next morning, it's all gonna be there, and you can sleep without having to worry about losing it. Because if you don't write it down and you get the idea in the middle of the night, you are gonna lose it. that's how we function. So that was a little bit around the sleep. That's one way to upgrade your capacity. The second thing is, like I said, it's food, and there are clocks for the food too, and for all those processes that are around food, and we need to eat at a regular basis, and we need normal, real food, healthy, nutritious food. We don't need all those what do you call it in English, manufactured food or prepared foods. And we need to have a regular amount of food over the day. And that is, I usually say, you have 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you don't eat during the night, because your system actually needs to have a rest from getting food. We don't need food around the clock, but we need food over the day to have our brain work as we want it to. So we need to give it energy. And if you need extra energy, you can have a fruit or a dark sandwich in the morning hours or in the afternoon coffee breaks. Sweden is famous for its fika breaks. That's compulsory in every workplace, everywhere. You have to have around 3 o'clock. You have a fika pause, and it also works. It gives you a little more energy if you eat something good at that time, so that you can work. It also gives you the connection with other people. It gives your brain a break from what you're actually working with, or maybe you take the problem with you to somebody at the coffee machine, and that is also a thing that is actually raising your capacity, because you leave the desk. The more you sit by your desk and don't do anything else, your brain gets tired, and it wants some fresh air and some coffee. And also, when you eat, you take a look at your portions, so that your plate is a standard plate and not those big ones. And if you make it a habit to have the same every day, you might even lose some weight if you are overweight, and or at least you don't gain more weight by sitting by the computer or at your desk and eating too much. But I'm not talking about dieting, for weight loss. that's another story. And also there is one thing you can have if you know that you are not coming to a place where you have food or something for a long time, you can have a little plastic bag with nuts and dried fruit or something in your bag, so you can have a few of those if you need them as extra instead of candy, because candy is just sugar and it's nothing but sugar and it doesn't do you any good. It just makes you very hyped for a short time, and then it drains your energy, and your blood sugar system goes berserk, and you don't want that. So no candy, no more candy. It's harsh, isn't it? And then the last one, that is the exercise. That sleep, eat, and exercise. And also exercise is also for getting energy. And you may think that if you do too much work, and if you have, of course, if you do work out really hard, you get tired. But if you just use your body over the day, it gives you energy, because our bodies, our muscles, if we have any, they are made for working. They are not made for resting. The more you rest, the more tired you will be, and the weaker your body will be. And it's also very good for a lot of other things, like blood, reduce blood sugar. It reduces your blood pressure. It reduces your cholesterol levels, your weight. It reduces muscle ache and joint problems. And you can do just easy little stretching. It doesn't have to be much if you are not able to go and take a walk. And then the basic physical activity that it would be good for everyone is the minimum of around 30 minutes brisk walk every day, or something that is compared to that amount. That's what we need. And another thing that we actually do need to move for is that there is 200,000 years ago, when we were on the savannah and became people, you needed to run and think at the same time. So we are equipped with a connection between our muscles and our brain. So our brain cells work so much more effectively if we move the body at the same time. And I am sure that a lot of you have noticed that if your thought gets stuck and you start moving, it's all of a sudden says, yeah, that's how it was. Now I remember, because you need that movement. And that is because this connection is so, it's so clear. And so those 30 minutes, I would say that that's a good pill to take. And it is also scientifically proved that it's, the first pill for light depression. If you have a light depression or a lot of anxiety, if you take 30 minutes brisk walk each day, it's going to help you a lot. And you don't need to get pills. Instead, you take the walks and move your body. It's so much more effective, and it gives you all those other things that I just talked about at the same time. And then also, of course, don't forget all the free stuff that you can do, like vacuum cleaning. cleaning the car, washing the car. You can do laundry, dusting, anything, and taking the stairs instead of the elevator or the escalator, and also parking the car a bit away from wherever you're supposed to park, or get off the bus one stop early, to get those small amounts but so important parts of moving our bodies uh, every day, every day, every day, so we don't become like stiff little ladies and men. And this is what I was going to talk about today. It's easy in a way to do it and to know it, but it's not. It's no, it's simple, what I say, but it's not always so easy to actually do it because of all those things that our brains have brought with us from those 200,000 years ago. We are still the biology that we are, and we can do nothing about that part because we are not going to, the evolution is not going to happen within the next 5 years or 10 years. It's going to take another 200,000 years before we are different people than we are today. So we better kind of learn how this works today so that we can, live the good life today and have the capacity that we need. Because if you do upgrade your way of taking care of yourself, you will have more energy and more capacity to actually take the step out of the hamster wheel, so that you can start doing other things, to change other changes in your life, so that you actually can live a much calmer life in the end. And I think this is what I was going to talk about today. And if you want to start the process, you can go to my website. It's Ask Dr. Annika, AskDrAnnika.com. For if on top of the first page, you're going to see my starter kit. It's a free ebook where you start the process on doing the little steps forward in your life to get to find your calm life. And I hope to see you next week too. Thank you.